Paradox here, and today I'm going to show you guys my FTK Exodia deck. For those of you that don't know what FTK means, it means first turn kill. There's also OTK, which is one turn kill. They are kind of the same thing, but FTK is considered better. So, the point of this deck is, good hand. The point of this deck is to draw out as many cards as you can until you get all the pieces of Exodia and essentially win in one move. Or the first move for you. So, I've tried recording this video like 3 times, and it has not worked. Not that you guys will know this unless it works, but if this one doesn't work, I'm just giving up. Okay, what's this guy doing? Summoner, Monk, Zombire, Dark, blah blah blah. Okay, what? Great. Well, let's start. So first thing you want to do is get one of these guys out. Magical Royal Library thingy. Then what you want to do is try to either activate your... What? Destroy... Okay, that doesn't apply. What? Sorry, but too late for that, buddy. That was only during the turn he was summoned. During his summon. Anyway, so I'm gonna continue. You want to either activate terraforming or have the card in your hand that I'm gonna search for with it. So, terraforming is gonna get me my Magical Citadel, and essentially it's going to act as a second Royal Magical Library that you can only use once. Watch. So, that gets me another spell counter. And now I'm going to activate Toon Table of Contents, which is pretty much here to give me more spell counters. So, I use it, and I search a second Toon Table of Contents. And before I do that, I'm gonna do that for my free draw, which is what this card does. It can only hold 3, and I remove 3 to draw a card. God. There. Okay, I probably was wrong, but I'm just gonna stand by my belief that he was wrong and the effect only applied during the turn that card was summoned. If you guys want to correct me in the comments, I'm completely okay with that. Speaking of comments, while we wait, if you guys have any ideas for decks, you can also put that in the comment. Oh, here's someone. And still working on that Minecraft project on my server. So that. Paper, scissors. Ha! Anyway. So, hoping someone will volunteer to help, because if they do, when the project's finished, they will be allowed to come back and be a contestant on the actual show that I'm setting up for it. Alright, we're going first. Start with the duality. Well, might as well put something I can actually... Now, I'll put this in my hand as a last resort. Oh, God, oops. Forgot to put these back in my deck and shuffle. So, yeah. Activate Upstart Goblin, gets me a draw. Terraforming's not gonna help. And that's why I put the reload. Let's just wipe it clean, get an entirely new hand. So, not really much to talk about, is there? 2, 3, 4, 5. Be right back, guys. I'm gonna pause the recording. Sorry about that. While I was gone, apparently my partner quit, so we'll have to get a new duel going. Sorry, guys. First 3 times I did this, it worked out great. So it's not the best hand, but it's a hand. What? That was weird. Alright, we'll start with that Dark World. Actually, let's activate our Magical Citadel first and be smart. Then we'll go with the Dark World dealing. Gets us a spell counter and draw. Then I'll just go with this. Luckily, we got the real prize, Royal Magical Library. So, what is this guy doing? Weird. So anyway, activate Magical Mallets because we have no other choice. I'm just gonna go for the best. Oh, good. Good hand. So we're gonna go with an Upstart Goblin, gets us spell counters, and a draw. Of course he gains 1,000 life points if he's smart enough to do it. Anyway, so we're gonna take off these 3 spell counters because of the effect of both of these combined, which gives us a draw. Which is good, 1 day apiece. Get us another draw. And that's good for later when we get a golden bamboo. So I'm going to activate Toon Table of Contents, which is just here to get me spell counters. But that's okay, because I can search out another Toon Table of Contents for the fun of it, because that's what this game's about after all. And I can activate. Now, I can't draw with this again because I can only do it once per turn. But with this one, I can draw as many times as I have the proper amount of spell counters, being right now. And now I get to search out, guess what? Another Toon Table of Contents. It gets us a draw. Now, can you guess what I'm going to search out next with my Toon Table of Contents? Because if you think it's another one, you're wrong, because I've already used all 3 of them. So you should feel bad about being wrong. Not really. I'm wrong a lot, too. It's okay. We can be wrong together. We're going to search out Toon World, which, again, is only here for the spell counters. And I don't even have to lose life points because of 1 day of peace, which keeps anyone from losing life points. And finally, let's activate an Upstart Goblin. Gets us another draw. And it gets us another set of, guess what? Spell counters. Remove those. And a draw. Ooh, good thing we got Dark World dealing. Sorry about this. Apparently this guy doesn't understand how the card works, so look. Each player draws 1 card, neither player takes damage until the end of the opponent's next turn. So pretty much at the beginning of my next turn is gone. anyway, so we're going to activate a Dark World Dealing, get us some more spell counters, and this is a bit of a gamble here. See what I mean? So I actually have to send this to the graveyard, but it got me a spell counter, so it's barely worth it. Alright, end turn. So, even though I won't take damage if he attacks, hopefully that'll be enough incentive for him not to attack. If he does, it would still destroy my Royal Magical Library, which would be bad. And I would be very sad if he did that. Cactus Fighter. Da-da-da-da-da-da. You see? Oh, well, its counters get transported over here, because that's what the card says. Alright, he's probably going to use this effect to get a needle token. Nope. 1 day of peace negates it. He thinks I still take damage. No damage is done at all, battle or otherwise, until right now. So once it actually becomes my doesn't affect me right now, but it will. Smart move. Except for I'm not going to be declaring attacks. Well, this is gone, which means I do take the damage from this, which is 500. So, oh, I forgot to put this in the grave as well. So, unless I draw the next 2 pieces of Exodia, I'm pretty much doomed here, guys. How far in is this? We've got 37 minutes left. And there's a giant tree. Figures. Yeah, he's pretty much gonna kill me unless I get Exodia. Why not? And I didn't forget about the fact that I still have to take the 500 damage. So, this is... This is bad, unless I can get rid of Toon World, which I have no way of doing. Alright guys, here's my chance. Reload. Let's do this. Activate. Alright, Pot of Duality, we can work with that. And I forgot to put a spell counter on for reload. So we activate it. Come on. No. Yes, but I should still do it, because I have to. Alright, we want to put this in our hand, and these in the deck. And there's like 12 of these on here. I think we can manage removing 3 for a draw. I get 2 on here, 1 here, and I already have the other one in my hand. Okay, that's it. I pretty much lose. Unless he decides to be nice and find out what I plan on doing, but I'm sure he can guess that. So it pretty much turns spells into traps. I don't know why he bothered doing that, because he just won. Sorry about that, but you guys pretty much saw a ton of the cards, so I think you're good on seeing it. It's got a 60% chance of winning on your first move. So I'll just explain how it works since I can't show you very well. Exodia, obviously the key is to get these in your hand, all 5 of them. You've got your 3 Royal Magical Libraries, in case, 2 of them or 1 of them gets destroyed. Better chance to draw them as well. So, you get your spell counters, 3 max, you can remove 3 to draw a card. That's why there's no traps in here. That, and it's meant to win you in the first turn. This goes in combo with that, so what this does is, I can also put spell counters on this when I activate spells. If one of these gets destroyed and it has spell counters on it while this is on the field, I can move those spell counters over to this, like I did. And I can use this if it has enough spell counters. I can use this spell counters instead of these ones, which gets me 2 draws, but I can only do it with this once per turn. Terraforming to look these out, also it gets me spell counters, draws and spell counters, draws and spell counters. Spell counters also it combos with this, which gets me 2 draws and spell counters. Spell counters, and as a last resort, these are kind of better because then you don't have to forfeit your Exodia cards if they're in your hand, but it also gets you spell counters. These are all for spell counters, along with this, which combos with 1 Day of Peace, which is also for draws and spell counters. That way you don't take damage when you play it. So what these do is, it lets me put an additional spell counter on either one of these, really, and then it searches for the other one, which is why there's only 2 in here, because you're probably only going to use 1. There's only 2 so that you can look for the other one. And then Duality gets you, it kind of, in a way, searches out Exodia. So, then I'm going to show you my other FTK, which is completely illegal. I call this one Gods Be With Us. It's got kind of the same premise, except here's how it works. 3 gods, you tribute all 3 of them while they're on the field for him. Here's how you do it. While this guy's in your graveyard, you can activate traps from your hand, which is why these are in here. These guys are to tribute for one of the gods. You'll find out why later. Draws, we'll talk about that later. Draws, sends 1 monster from your deck to the graveyard, which I'll explain why that's good later. Same thing, sends monsters to the graveyard and draws. This one only sends monsters to the graveyard if it takes you longer than 1 turn to win. Same reason, except without spell counters for the other deck. 5 cards from your deck showing gets monsters in the graveyard if you need to. Draws, lets you summon one of these guys, or put them in your hand, or whatever. And we'll explain this later as well. Draws, 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 draws. You really don't need to use the other effect, because you really can't. Now I'm going to explain this, this, and this. So, how this deck works is, you use a ton of these cards to banish or to get your 3 gods in the graveyard. Then you use this to banish them. Then you use either this or this, depending on the situation, to special summon them on the field. And at least 2 of them, or all 3. If you can't summon all 3 and you only get 2, that's why these guys are there. And then once you've got these 3 on the field, you get this guy in your hand, and you tribute all 3 of them, and you win, because you special summon him by tributing all 3. He can't be special summoned other ways, can't be normal summon or set, but guess what? His summon cannot be negated, and whoever summons him wins the game. So that's pretty much how those decks work. Like I was talking about before, leave a comment if you have a deck idea, or if you want to help with my Minecraft project. This has been Paradox Productions Film, and I will see you later.